Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? We back. It's top of the week, Monday. Heading off to do what it is that I do to make ends meet for the fan band, man. But peak game, I want to get into something, right? And that's this past weekend's festivities, man. First off, ballin' ass fight, another potential fight of the year candidate. That was a damn good fight. That was an incredible fight. I gotta say this about Fabio Wardley, man. I'm definitely seeing an uptick in skill with him, man. I am. So I think he'll be more ready. He'll be ready now. He's a lot more ready now to fight for a belt than he was some time ago, man. I'm seeing shit with his feet. He's not as he's not as kludgy and clumsy on his feet. He's becoming a lot more savvy on his feet. In particular, how he backs up, man. He doesn't back up in a straight line with his chin high up in the air. He's not off balance. He's a lot more balanced than the now. I've seen him, on a multitude of occasions when Joseph Parker is throwing combinations and he's getting out of the way of him. He's not backing up in a straight line. He's spinning out. Even if it's a slight spin out, that changes the trajectory of your opponent's forward momentum, and it's harder to keep up and put punches together with somebody who's not going back straight. You dig? They're cutting out at that angle. It's a lot harder to chase them out and put punches together and be successful with that, man. You got to be a hell of a specimen on your feet in order to be able to do something like that on the offensive end, to chase an opponent down like that, man. I seen Fabio Wardley really implement, his feet. I seen that. I was like, yo, that's good, and I seen it a few times, man. Once early and once a little bit late, man. Joseph Parker was putting together combinations on the man. Even his defense and how he's moving his upper body and everything, man. Just getting to the side. He looks a lot more fluid now than he did when he fought Justis Huni or when he fought Frazier Clark. You dig? I'm definitely seeing a big, I'm seeing him level up. I'm seeing, him fighting Justis Huni, that was really, I think that was really, that was good for him. That was real good for him, because when he fought Huni, Huni is a lot more complete of a fighter than a Fabio Wardley, and for him, and him seeing that and him getting dominated in the manner he got dominated, and he's like, all right, cool. I'm officially at world level. It's time for me to really step up and really start to polish this, polish and hone my skills. Otherwise, it's going to be ugly for me when it's time for me to actually fight for a strap, man. But he just looked real savvy in there, man. He honestly did, man. His punches are a lot sharper and crisper. It's not as wide. It's not as looping. Even though he does throw looping right hands, when he throws his 1-2, it's the jab is crisper, the uppercut is there. He hurt Parker with the uppercut, and he clipped him with it a few times, man. He's just looking a lot more complete as a fighter than he did just in his last fight with Justis Huni. He definitely does need to be polished a little bit more, but I'm seeing it that, all right, yeah, in training camp, they're literally working on shit. I see it, man, and I gotta salute him for that. He's become a really formidable heavyweight. He's become a real formidable heavyweight, man. Salute to Fabio Wardley, man. But as far as the fight is concerned, man, I had round 1 for Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker has an incredible jab, dude. It's an incredible jab, and it's not like, I like how he throws it. He's not always, just a lot of people forget this. They'll aim at the chest, and usually they'll do it with somebody who's a little bit taller than them. They'll aim at the chest. They'll jab at the chest. To open up the head. That ushers in, the shots landing up top. He'll throw a jab to the head and one to the chest, man. I'm like, yo, that's an educated jab right there, man. So Joseph Parker had a real good jab, and for the majority of the fight, that's how he was controlling the fight, was off of the jab. And I think he just he did real good work with the jab in round 1. In round 2, I think that was 2 and 3 with Fabio Wardley rounds, man. He rallied big, hurt him a couple of times in both rounds. And, he just did real good work, man. But after, from rounds 3 to maybe 8, I want to say about 3 to 8, it was all Joseph Parker, man. Just, controlling him with the jab. Really well-timed jab. I think Fabio Wardley could stand to work on his defense a little bit more. But some people just ain't going to be picture perfect boxers. They're just not going to have picture-perfect technique. They're not going to have that. That's just not in every fighter's game, man. Some fighters are going to have, glaring deficiencies, and that's what's going to add to the intrigue of them, man. Sometimes a fighter just ain't going to be, they're not going to have just this, beautiful form and incredible technique on the shots. They just not. It's just, they're good. Look at Navarrete, man. That dude, you look at him, you look at, I can't remember the Bronco. He's another one. These dudes are not finesse fucking, picture perfect, complete fucking, flawless fighters. They're not. These dudes, they punch wide. They don't set nothing up. They just get out there and just throw caution to the wind and they just go. But they're so good in that, they've managed to be, really, real formidable in that, in that style. I can't understand it because they leave themselves open to get, to get countered if somebody is, brave enough to stand there in the pocket with him and trade, because both of them were big punchers, man. But my point is, everybody ain't gonna have just this picture perfect form and technique and all that shit. That just ain't always how it goes, man. It's a fight at the end of the day, and sometimes just your ability to fight, as opposed to just box, is what's gonna get you over the line a lot of times, man. And that's what's gotten these cats over the line, man. They're fighting. Fabio Wardley is a fighter, man. So maybe he can stand to work on his technique as far as form is concerned, because I think his hand, his lead hand being so low, he was susceptible to a lot of jabs. Man. He'd probably do better against the southpaw because he holds his backhand up a little bit higher, but his lead hand is so low. But because of that, what you got to do with a laser-like jab in Joseph Parker, that really, that really helped him out going into that fight, man. And he had a lot of success with just, controlling him off the jab. So from rounds 3 to 8, it was just clearly Joseph Parker. Round 8, I want to say it was like a swing round. I think that was a swing round. That could have went either way. I personally had it Joe Parker, but I think it was the ninth round. The ninth round when Fabio hurt him again, because they was hurting each other throughout that fight. Fabio hurt him again, and I think I went on ahead and gave that to him. Yeah, they both hurt each other in the ninth round. I think he did hurt Joseph Parker a little bit more, but I just think Joseph Parker was just a lot more consistent with pumping the jab. He landed a lot more, and tack on the fact that he hurt him. So I'm like, yeah, I went with Joseph Parker, man. I went with Joseph Parker in that round. But Fabio hurt him twice, I want to say, in round 9. He hurt him, it was either 9 or 10. I can't remember what round it was. And then, of course, we get to round 11, and Fabio Wardley goes in there and he stops Joseph Parker, which I vehemently, reject. I didn't agree with the stoppage, man. Y'all are not doing him no favors, man. Y'all are not doing him no favors. Now, granted, his last two, both of his last 2 fights against high quality opposition have ended in stoppages. But y'all, it gets to a point where y'all got to stop this, man. Y'all not doing him no favors. Joseph Parker. Let's look at everybody that Joseph Parker has been hit by. Anthony Joshua, he's been dropped and stopped by Joe Joyce. And he got up twice off the canvas in front of Zhilei Zhang. Those are 2 of the biggest dudes at heavyweight. And this was an undefeated Joe Joyce. This was an undefeated Joe Joyce. He had yet to stand in front of Zhang. He hadn't stood in front of Zhang yet, man. And he got up, he got dribbled off the canvas and got up and he ended up beating Zhang. Oh, no, not Zhang. But, he got up. Joe had to beat the shit out of fucking Joseph Parker to get him up out of there. And then when he got dribbled off the canvas twice by Zhilei Zhang, and he still got up in that, he won the fight. These are bigger punchers than Fabio Wardley. They are. These are bigger punchers. These are bigger punchers than Fabio Wardley. Even though Wardley is a really good, he's a really big puncher. I just think these 2 are they have stoppage wins over bigger opposition, and just for them to down somebody, Zhang stopped Joe Joyce twice, stopped Wilder, even though that wasn't the same Wilder, but he did stop Wilder nonetheless. And he did, you know, he dropped Hrgovic and he dropped fucking Joseph Parker twice. You know, this dude has been in with, and Agi Kabayel, he dropped him as well. And this was a fucking Zhang that was exhausted before he did that. So I'm saying, man, you got to give these fighters an opportunity to recover and get their legs back up under them, man. Fucking Parker, I don't think Parker was ready to go. Was he hurt? Yeah, he was hurt throughout the entirety of the fight. And I never seen him act that frantically when Joseph Parker had fucking Fabio Wardley hurt. I never seen him act that frantic. I never seen it because he hurt him a couple of times with the right hand, and the right hand wasn't even landing, you know, with regularity with Joseph Parker as we're accustomed to seeing. He did, and that's another thing I wanted to say. He was, you know, he speaks to defense again. He defended the right hand real well. Fabio Wardley, he defended against the right hand real well. He was rolling it, getting up under it. He did real good with defending it, you know, Joseph Parker's right hand, because that's what he was smacking Deontay Wilder with. He did real good defending against that. And when he hurt him later in the fight with the right hand, I can't remember the referee's name, but I didn't see him, you know, get over there frantically to to Fabio Wardley to kind of like, you know, pull him out the fire if it got too hot. I didn't see that from him. But the minute Joseph Parker got hurt in the second round, I see him, you know, holding on to the rope and just, you know, oh shit, I might have to jump in and stop this. I don't like that energy, man. And I don't like, you know, that's not good for the fighter's confidence, man. This is the second fight where Fabio Wardley has rallied late, but I just feel like the referee just jumps in prematurely and stops the fight and not allow the fighter to, he doesn't allow the fighter to, you know, try to find a way to persevere. That's not going to do that man no favors, man. That nigga that's not going to do him no favors. Oh, the ref got me. Nah, my nigga, fuck all that. He might not have. He don't got you. That needs to be there and he don't got you. You know, No. I don't like that, man, because I had Joseph Parker up. Joseph Parker easily had 6 rounds in the bag. Easily. Maybe, let me see. The fight only won 11 rounds, so I had 2. I had 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and like 9. Either 9 or 10, one of them rounds. Joseph Parker was winning that fight. He was up on 2 of the judges' scorecards. One judge had him up about 4 rounds or so. One judge had him up about 1 or 2 rounds. One judge had it a draw. I don't see how you can, score that fight a draw. But, you know, whatever the fuck ever. But I had Joseph Parker winning that fight comfortably, man. And for him to get, you know, played like that. And I think what's dope about Joseph Parker is, you know, me and him, you know, I think our personalities are kind of the same, man. Like, meek dudes. I'm not no tough guy, you dig? And, you know, if I fuck up, if I lose, yeah, it is what it is. In a fight, at least, because I just feel like the fight is just the ultimate way of, you know, of masculinity. And confrontation, you dig? If I can't beat you in a fight, all right, cool. I don't want to beat it, man. I got excuses. Whatever. Because if you make excuses in a loss, a lot of times that'll cause you fans. And what's dope about him, he was, you know, he's just, you know, the dude is just real. He's real. He's not egotistical. You dig? He's real humble. He's laid back. And he's like, yo, you know, it is what it is. But he's not retiring. And this is one thing that I like, you know, the Americans got to cut. They got to learn from that, man. Just because you lose, niggas get knocked out in the sport of boxing, shit happens. There's not too many people on earth who are in position to do that to you, to knock you the fuck out. So when you get in there and you do get knocked out by somebody that's on your level, your contemporary, it just is what it is, man. He got the better of you that day. You can come back and knock him the fuck out in the rematch. Losses happen. It is what it is. But you gotta salute him for being the, being the sportsman that he is, going in there and accepting defeat in the manner that he accepted it in. He's not gonna rematch you. He's not gonna rematch you. You dig? That's not gonna happen. But nonetheless, it was a good performance from Fabio Wardley. You know, it was competitive. You know, real good back and forth. I enjoyed that fight, man. That's another potential candidate for Fight of the Year. Man. Real good performance from both men. You know, definitely an uptick in skill with Fabio Wardley. Joseph Parker, I think he got played personally, but he performed really well in there, man. And he was dominating that fight, you know, pretty handily. If you ask me, easily won 7 rounds, and that's practically the fight right there. But Fabio, even in the rounds that he was losing, was still showing flashes of brilliance in there defensively and offensively, man. So I wouldn't put I think he needs one. I would give him one more fight before he goes in there and tries to run that shit with someone like a Usyk. But if you know, hey, go for it. You know, you in position now, go for it. Fuck it. But that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Hold your head up, Joseph Parker. Really good performance, Fabio Wardley. I'm looking forward to what happens next between the two, but with both of y'all, man. This ain't it for Joseph Parker. He can be a champion again. I guarantee you he'll be a champion again before he retires, man. So that's all I'm feeling about it. That's all I got to say. I'm going to here to clock in and do what it is that I do. I get with y'all later, man. Y'all stay righteous until then. Doses.